Okay, Mr. Soto's World History students, here is your video on the next lesson you'll be doing. Okay, so this video is going to cover the lessons for the Atlantic world and the Age of Exploration. So you'll be doing two here. This one you'll get done pretty fast. Okay, so let's look at the online remote learning weekly lesson plans. Okay, so you should have finished the reformation lesson. So now we're going here. So I changed the due dates a little bit here. Okay, so the Atlantic World lesson will be due next Wednesday by 8 p.m. Okay, because I have some kids turning assignments in like at 11 or 12. You guys should be sleeping at that time. But so I'm already in bed. So due by 8 p.m. and I'll get the grades in. And then the Age of Exploration lesson will be due next Thursday by 8 p.m. Okay, so we're going to eliminate the Fridays. Okay, and stick to the Thursdays here. Here's where you'll click to get the video, this video here for the lessons as well as the passwords. Okay, so that's the weekly lesson plans. Okay, so let's look at the Atlantic World lesson. So I'm going to click that. Okay, people and empires in the Americas. So because of the printing press and the reformation that's going on in Europe, okay, you're going to get the Age of Exploration where we come into the Western Hemisphere, okay, into the Americas, as you can see here. So the password for this lesson is going to be Mayans. Okay, so first thing here is let's go ahead and set the stage for North American societies. You will then go into a geography skill builder on the Mesoamerican civilizations and a primary source. You'll be then going into the Mayan kings and cities. Go ahead and set the stage here, and then you're going to look into the rise and fall of the Maya. Okay, so skill builder here. So go through this here, answer your questions. You'll be then going into the Aztecs and their control of Central America. Okay, so we're kind of setting the stage here prior to the Europeans coming over, the conquistadors. All right, so you got the Aztecs here. Look at the rise and fall of the Aztecs, and then a primary source. You will then be going into section 4, the Inca create a mountain empire. Okay, so you have your main ideas and stuff, set the stage, and look at the rise and fall of the Incas. And for your last page here, question 11, it's going to be a chart here. Okay, and this is people and empires in the Americas. So just go through these here, answer these questions based off the chart, and then that will be it for this assignment, because all this one does is the Atlantic world kind of sets the stage for the next lesson. Okay, now for the next assignment you'll be doing is now we're going to go into the Spanish coming over into the Americas and its impact. This is very, very significant in history here. So this lesson is going to be the Age of Exploration lesson. And the password for this assignment here is going to be Spanish. So the first thing you would do is Spain builds an empire in the Americas. Let's go ahead and set the stage. Okay, to set the stage here for the Spanish exploration of the Americas, you are going to watch a video here. Okay, so you go ahead and click here on the Age of Exploration. This video will help define the key people involved and the significant events and why they matter. Okay, so the areas you need to focus on here, though, is the encomienda system, the whole point of the encomienda system, and the new laws of 1542. So this video here is going to set the stage, the key people involved, and the significance of events here and why they are important. All right, so you'll go ahead and watch the video and drag and drop, but make sure you know what the encomienda system is and the new laws of 1542 and how it relates to the Spanish colonial settlers. All right, then you'll get some AP questions here when it comes to that. Now, the next part of the assignment here is then going to focus on, now your central question here is, should the Spanish colonial settlers accept the new laws of 1542? So you're going to go into primary sources from that time period for you to come up with an answer to that question. So the first one you're going to read is from the Natural History of the West Indies. And based on this document here, the Spanish colonial settlers should or should not accept the new laws of 1542. How would you use this evidence here? Would you use it to support that they should or should not accept the new laws of 1542? Okay, so like I said, you need to know the new laws of 1542 okay, and the historical context behind that. And based off of this document here, I would use this document as evidence to show in which one does this fall under. Okay. You'll then go into Jacobo de Testera's letter to Charles V, the King of Spain here. Okay. All right, 1533. After you read this, would you use this evidence here to support whether the Spanish colonial settlers should or should not accept the new laws of 1542? And what evidence does this text here provide? So you do that here. Bartolome de las Casas, this is a very important one here. Okay, this is a very significant man. All right. Or you can watch this video clip. Okay, kind of gives the same thing. All right, and answer the questions. And that's what you would do for these documents here. You will now have the wrap up. Okay, what eventually did happen. So you need to read about this here. All right, did you read the text above? Yes, you should have. And based off of this text, one could say that Bartolome de las Casas accidentally started what? Based off of this here, or the reading here. So now we go back to the main question here. Should the Spanish colonial settlers accept the new laws of 1542? Okay, so you click here for a quick review of the encomienda system if you need to. Okay, but if not, go ahead and answer the question here. But the key to answering this question here is what evidence do you have to support your position whether they should or should not accept the new laws of 1542? Okay, so with this, so when you use your evidence, it should be from these here. Okay, and you have them here. As long as you get these right, here's the evidence that you need. So if you say they should accept the new laws 1542, you need to go back to this page and look for all the ones you selected should and what evidence it provides, because you need to use this evidence into your response. All right, put them into your response, all right, to get full credit. All right, so make sure you go back to these. If you say they should or should not, go back and see which ones you use and what evidence they provide. Okay, so you need to make sure. Now, this is just a wrap up here. All right, this just tells us what eventually does happen. This should not influence your position on answering that question. But this right here is really important when we continue on with this lesson as well into your next lesson. All right. So make sure when you answer this question here, should the Spanish colonial settlers accept the laws of 1542, you answer this, restate the question, answer it, and then provide evidence from the documents you read to answer this question. Okay, so as we go into this here, your last page is going to cover questions 14 through 18, AP questions. Just like before, use the internet if you need to. Go through the process of elimination and come down to the right answer. All right, a lot of these you could probably get just based off of the lesson. And then that will be it for the Age of Exploration lesson. Make sure you finish the attempt and make sure it's done by next Thursday by 8 p.m. And that's when I'll get the grades in. Okay. And going back to the question here, this whole event here is going to set the stage for further Europeans coming over. Because remember, not just the Spanish are going to come over, okay? The English are going to come over as well, and they're going to settle up farther north into present-day, the United States. You get the Jamestown, the Chesapeake colonies. You get the Massachusetts Bay colonies. Okay, so this here is going to set the stage for future Europeans coming over. And that's why this is very significant in history here when it comes to the Spanish colonial settlers. Does history repeat itself down the road? So there you go. This is the video for your Atlantic World lesson as well as the Age of Exploration lesson. Okay. All right. So you have till next week to get these done. Okay. This one should go pretty quick here. This one's very significant because then we are going to be settling the northern or North America with the English colonies. Okay. So this all goes in order. But remember, without the Reformation, without the printing press, all right, this helps pave the way, or even the European Renaissance. All this ties together because it paves the way for European exploration of the Americas and its impact on the civilizations in the Americas. Okay, so take care. Hope everybody's staying safe and healthy, and hopefully we're back in August.